to my stream. This is my first time streaming, so do bear with me if things aren't as smooth as you're used to. Okay, so yeah, today I thought I'll just do a personal work of the animation challenge on Agora. If no one is aware, every month Agora run a challenge with a theme. I'll show you what this theme is. 1 second. Yeah, so this month the challenge is all about sort of martial arts. And I thought it'd be a good idea just to try and test myself and do like a between, I guess maybe 2 or 3 hours, depending on how I go. See how far I can get. I have a rough idea of what I want to do. I'm doing like a Tai Chi waterbending movement with Aang. I actually watched the TV show, the live action one, and I've also watched the 2D stuff in the past. And yeah, it was pretty good, though there was no waterbending from Aang in the TV show. So I thought that was a slightly missed opportunity because he did learn it from the tribe. So yeah, I thought maybe I'll give this a go and see how far I can get. The rig is also from Agora. You can find it down below near the bottom. It's a pretty good rig, especially with the body mechanics. It's very flexible. I haven't really used this rig before for this type of movement though, so I'm not quite sure how it's going to deform with like martial arts, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, in terms of the setup of how this is going to work, I'm realizing that I'm probably going to get very few viewers for this stream, so I'm going to really treat this more as a video, and I'm going to try and talk about what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and I'll upload this to YouTube afterwards. So I feel like this may be more of a video than a stream, but nonetheless I'm going to try doing this live, see if anyone joins. If you do join, please do let me know in the comments. It'll be fun to see what happens. But yeah, okay, let's get started. So I did go online and I did some research, and I'm aware that basically Avatar and Aang, for the 2D show, they did lots of research for different martial art styles. So waterbending is primarily Tai Chi, very sort of fluid movements. So I thought I would try something like that. So I went to YouTube, I found these references. Anything for you? So yeah, I'm looking more at the woman on the right for some ideas. The man is more for like understanding how the body's moving through the motions, just feeling, I guess, of what I'm going for. I think I'm going to focus quite a lot on the woman's actual movements, though, the actual path she's taking. And in terms of the rigs I'm using, again, so I've got the Agora rig. I'm also using this rig, which I found online. It's basically a VFX rig. I'm not very good at doing this sort of stuff myself in Maya, so I found this really good what's the word, 2D kind of which I've been using for some personal stuff. I'll find the link. Yeah, so this is the link. It's some of them are free, but the one I'm using today is actually from the paid version. If you go to his channel, he has a bunch of different things. It's got 4. I'm using the Avatar Elemental Pack, which is $5 or £5, and yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty easy to use. I'll show you what they look like. So basically, you get this rig, and you can control the scale of the water here, so how big and small they are. And then the shift the water is how it goes along the path. So 0 is at the start, 1 is at the end. And then of course these locators, which are basically a curve, you can adjust this to basically get the water to travel where you want it to travel to. So I'm probably going to focus later on. I'm going to focus on the body first of the Aang. But I thought just if I get this far, I can maybe do the water as well near the end. But for now, I'm going to actually take off this reference because there's no point having it, because I'm not using it quite yet. Okay, in terms of the controllers I'm using, I thought I might as well just set this up cleanly for you. So I have basically hidden everything that I'm not going to be using. Basically, on this layer, if I turn this on, I've got the cloth, including some of the cloth geo. I don't want to animate this yet, it's unnecessary. Maybe if I have time, I'll do it at the end. But all this is hidden. And also I'm using FK for the arms, I'm using IK for the legs, of course. I was thinking of using IK arms. I think because it's got a flowy movement, like I don't really want to hold too many poses, I want to kind of flow through it. I'm going to use FK to get those nice arcs. And for the head, I'm keeping it in global space because I think it might be easier when, yeah, I mean, it's all kind of not like separate, but I want to see. I prefer using global space for the head. And I given him from the Shooter library that came with the download. There was a bunch of expressions. I gave him a default focus pose. If I get time, I'll do facial stuff. For now, I'm going to do bodies. I had to work with body basically to polish, and then if I have time, or even in work, I do polishing for the body first, and then I go back and do lip sync and facial expressions. So yeah, that's my plan. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. So I'm going to make up. So this first pose I'm going to go for is I'm using all this app from Keyframe Pro. So if I scrub the timeline, you see that the player also scrubs too. That's how I'm using that. I'm going to put this over. Put it here for now. I don't quite need it at the moment. Okay, let's get this first pose going. So I think this first pose I'm looking for is like the low stance pose. That's what I want to go for. I want to make sure that she's starting at quite a nice low position. I'm using this cam that I've set up as a random cam. So I think something like this, but I think maybe the hand should be a little bit further back. So if you imagine like the hand's like down here, and she's gonna like be sweeping up from the ground, and maybe I can get something a bit nice. No, let's have a go. See how it works. So let's pose out the legs first, especially the hips first. So the body's gonna come down, of course, that way down. And I'm thinking about the angle. I'm gonna probably do this fairly straight on. Might zoom the camera out a little bit later on. See how this goes. Legs it back. This is my first time streaming, so if I do sort of stop walking for a bit, be bear with me. But so this bit hidden. I'm guessing it's facing forward though. The hips are going to be kind of facing. Well, they're going to be rotated down like this, aren't they? Maybe down that, maybe. And I think, yeah. I'm using the pole vectors, so let's get these pole vectors in. Oh, it's a bit awkward. It's hard to see them in the dark. It's rolling up as well. I think maybe I will use. For this. This is good. This is also a good controller. So maybe I use just this one, just to turn on. Vertical stone. Let's get this further up. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do a pose-to-pose method for this workflow. I think the better reference you have, the easier pose-to-pose is. Because you basically just well, actually, to be fair, it depends on what you go. But either way, I think for this workflow, I'm gonna try pose-to-pose. Normally I do layered because I work in television, so like I don't really have time to just muck around with posing. I have to just get things moving as fast as possible. But I do think pose to pose can sometimes get better work. It's better quality posing and a bit more polish if you have the time. Okay, so I think maybe I need to access these controllers. I think this is there. These first poses always take a while to figure out how the rig deforms. Okay. Might even hide the cloth actually. No. Yeah, I think you can hide the cloth for the cloth layer. Yeah, I might do that for now. And if I have time, I'll do the It looks a little bit off balance right now, so let's fix that. I think that's a pretty. I was also thinking of doing IK for the chest as well for this, but I think FK is better. Let's rotate it backwards a bit. I think the hips are going out like that. The upper chest was rotating forward. Okay, so there's a clavicle pose, right? I'm checking this is less than good, right? Yeah, I also like doing FK arms in the global pose. I just feel it's easier. Because, I like to animate things separately anyway, so if I want to adjust the shoulders and the chest, I can kind of forget about the arms And then later on I can fix things individually rather than having to worry about everything down the chain. Okay, so the head, the neck's gonna be down. Might place out the eyes, but leave the focus expression. So I feel like he's trying to draw up from the ground, so I want to kind of get this sort of, this is my line of action, right? So I'm going to try and work on this line of action a bit better. The eyes be looking at the distance. Shoulders back. I'm also going to lock. So yeah, I would like to lock the axis of the other, so it bends this way, right? So I'm going to lock red and blue, so that is going to be red and blue, lock that. You can animate them later if you feel like you need to like polish things a bit more and like adjust them, but for now I want to keep it to like the body mechanics to be correct, basically. Lock that too. I actually have a video about how to set up rigs using the straight rig. I mean, since that video I did adjust my thought process a little bit, but it's still kind of the same. If I want to keep things as simple as possible, I hide everything, which I don't want to use. Hence why I've got these layers with like extra controls. Just a tip, I realized this actually for a long time. If you sometimes select controllers, you see how if I select this one, for example, if I select the hip, which I'm never going to use this hip controller because it's like a shoulder joint, which doesn't make sense for the legs. There's no joint there to animate. But if you do select this, you see how it selects everything down the chain? And if I try to add this to a layer, and then I hide this layer 1, I hide it, everything hides, which in this situation is fine because that's what I want to do. But sometimes that's not what I want to do. So if I select just, let's delete this layer and do it again. If I select just the first controller and hit the down arrow on my keyboard, these deselect. And then if I add this to a layer, and now it just hides up the white stuff. It's a good trick, especially when you do the root and things, everything's selected. You can just do this, and you see how I just select the root. So, yeah, it's a good trick to make sure everything is like individually selected. Cool. Okay, let's get working on this paint. So if you're just joining me, I'm doing the Anim challenge. Let's get this. So yeah, I said before I want to maybe have this arm dragging first. So I'm gonna pick up the water from right behind me. So I guess the water's gonna come from behind me, like from this area, and get dragged through. So I need to sort of get these fingers. Let's pose out the fingers in hand a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna break the joint slightly here. I know technically I can't really do this position, because your arm doesn't go that way, but I'm going to just slightly break it. And I'm going to keep the bend bones on for this, because I want this to be really smooth. So normally I would hide the bend bones in the extra controls layer for the arms, but I am actually going to keep them on, I think. So I'm going to select them and unhide them, because I want to use them a little bit. So I think I'll select these 3, and the other one 2. Sometimes I do pose with bend bones on, because I believe that should work now. Maybe. It's nicer just to get, I guess, the pose is locked down from the start, and then you can adjust things later. I am using animate, by the way, especially later on when I'm doing more like polishing and my splining, I will use it a lot more. But for now, I'm just going to use these selection sets. Okay, so these hands. So hands are quite flowy. They're definitely like dragging behind the body. I always hate animating hands. I prefer wings actually. But wings for dragons and stuff is more fun. It's the same amount of controllers, like it's 5 joints, whatever, or 3 or 4 joints. But I don't know. Wings seem easier. Maybe because you get more creative control. And also, I have weird fingers. Like, so I look at my hands, they seem normal. But I look at a rig, like if you look at Aang for example, these are all straight hands, right? So like, for me, this looks weird because I've got these really weird pinky fingers. So like for me, I'm trying to get this nice cup shape, and I always get it wrong because I look at my own hands and then try to animate it, and it feels wrong to me, and I can't tell what's right. But even so, let's try and get something nice. So do you have anything nice? Curl, bend, scrunch. Good color actually. Oh, wow, it's actually a pretty good rig. I'm gonna do something manually first, and I can always add things later. Is there a cup control? Might not get. Right. So I do want to use references a lot, so let's get some hand poses. Relaxed. So I also use the PRF quite a lot. I'm not sure if anyone uses PRF. So here we go, yeah. I use PRF for faces a lot, but I also use it for hands. So let's choose some hands and get this into my... There we go. Cool. A second, I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. Give me one moment. Hi, Forza. Thank you for chatting. You're the first person ever to chat on my stream, so welcome. Okay, yeah, so I have this this stand. I'm gonna keep this picture, put it on another screen, but just so you know, these are good things to have. And this is PRF, as I said. So I have all these things for faces and stuff I use. You've got Aang here. That's actually unrelated. I wasn't using this for today, but I have this at work as well on like a separate file. I open up a file of PRF and everything I need for like hands, faces, and I open this when I need it just to check things. So look at this. I think so. This kind of pose here feels like Tai Chi. But I think for this first thing, I want to more have like a relaxed sort of dragging fingertip, because I think he's going to start in motion. So yeah, I'm gonna do, I think, something a bit more draggy. Maybe like this one here, the light one with the bright light. I'm gonna try this pose. So I have this off screen, but I am using it. No, I'm gonna discuss more for a second. No. Okay. So I think I'm gonna cut down. But like, I know the body still looks rough. I am going back and forth between the controls. I haven't quite finished the body yet either. I want to get a rough pose of everything, and I can go adjust my golden pose and improve it. So it's going to come down. And this one's going to go up. It's okay, ready? I think because he's kind of dragging behind him, I think this, see, from this side it looks a bit too far. I think imagine the water's like down below him on the ground, so I think Mo's going to be dragging a bit lower. I think as well, because I want to get this sort of, you can lean forward more, but also like rotate back more. So he's got like a nice sort of pose. I might also pose out. Also, if you haven't seen, I'll show you this now for everyone who's just joined. I'm using this rig from I think I have it still. What's that? I'll show you. Basically, it's a VFX pack for well, there's a bunch of different things. I'm using obviously the water one, or there you go. This is it. So this is the channel, or the profile. So basically, he has a bunch of different VFX packs. Some are free, as he said, and then some are paid. But they're all pretty good though. Yeah, I'm gonna try post to pose for this workflow. I actually don't normally do post to pose at work. I normally do layered. I also want to use mocap. I have mocap a lot of work, so mocap is just basically layering and going through and cleaning up. But yeah, I'm going to try post to pose for this work, because it's something I'm not very good at, to be honest. I did it lots when I was at school. I do like it as a method. It definitely does make clean animation, I think. Like, it feels a bit more artistic, you could say, or I'm not quite sure what the word is, but it just feels a bit more like old animation style, 2D animation, which has a certain charm. Let's pose out this water first. So the motion of the water, I'm going to imagine if you go through, he's going to come up, he's going to come round the body like this. So that's the idea. And bring it to here. And then maybe bring it out in front of her. The water path is still a little bit unsure of. Yeah, I did animation mentor. I did all six. Actually, did 6 plus creature. I did storyboarding as well. I didn't really enjoy that one. I wasn't really good at it. And I might do gaming stuff in the future. But that was quite a long time ago. That was, well, I did start animation mentor, I think 3 years ago now, and I finished 2 years ago. And I've been working in television for over a year. I did some freelance projects as well. But yeah, I loved animation mentor. At the time when I joined, I basically knew nothing about animation. I knew Blender a little bit for modeling and sculpting, but I've done no animation at that point. in my animate in Blender anything. I can't draw at all. I'm terrible at drawing. So I tried. It was kind of a bit of a gamble. Like I thought I need to do something with my life because my job at the time was that I was a teacher, and I liked teaching, but it wasn't like a career. It was more like I can do this for a bit, but if I do this my whole life, I'm gonna go insane. So I needed a change. So I thought maybe I'll try and do something that was, yeah, I guess, new. So it was a gamble, but it has paid off. So yeah, it's been good. So I'm working in South Korea though. I'm actually not. I animate for TV shows, as I said, but I'm doing it in Korean. So I live in South Korea. So that is. I mean, I do speak some Korean, so it's not like I can't do it, but it's definitely a challenge. Okay, let's have a look at the scripts. My first time using this water rig, so I'm not quite sure how to get the best results. Let's try. So I imagine the scale of the water is also one. This needs to be quite small. This is really. I do wish this come closer to that. Well, are you doing Animation Mentor, or are you thinking of doing it, Forza? I'm this to 0. Does it work? Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna make the small one first. Like that, maybe. That can be my first pose. Let's fix this foot a little bit. Let's fix it. Her foot is peeled off like this. If you see here, her foot is kind of leaning up. So, that's the other one. So it is. That's pretty more realistic. Okay, so she's got quite a nice line of action. My line of action still sucks. So I'm going to try and work on this bit. The neck is broken. This is why sometimes I like doing IK spine, because you can really get that line of action quite quickly and easily with IK. And to be fair, I do know some animators who do pose to pose and they only use IK spines. Because they say it's quicker. I mean, for FK is good for lots of things. But yeah, that's offset, isn't it? That's the wrong controller, isn't it? That's the hip. Well, this is okay. No, I'm gonna stay IK. I actually want to try IK anyway. This is actually IK, so I'm going to stick in IK. I was wondering why I was not the full. Silly me. I'm used to FK. What does the FK look like in this controller? Let's look at the FK. FK. Expand. Alright, square. So the colours are the same, but square. Fair enough. Well, FK, IK. What should I use? I'm going to try, I think actually you're going to do FK, because it is easier for FK. Check out that one, so I have the, so this is the spike offset. I don't think I want this one. I'm going to hide this extra controls. And then I've got the chain, I've got the hips. I'm going to keep the hips on, because they're good for later. Yeah, so there is some advantages. Sorry, Forza, yeah, awesome at hobbying. I think that's how I started with hobbying, and then I found the time to practice more when I got to study. Yeah, so IK and FK and IK spine. There is a bunch of benefits, and for me, FK is about keeping the volume. Is the biggest thing. Your body, the shape of the character won't change as much, because if I animate this is FK, right? If I change this pose, the volume stays the same. So yes, it may look a bit awkward, but overall it stays the same. So I can't like overstretch or understretch the body. And also for lots of movements which are more realistic and natural, it helps get the overlap and natural sort of movement of the body. As it's like a walk cycle or something like that. It feels a bit more natural. IK is good too. As I said, it's pretty fast IK, and you can animate pose to pose and get really quick sort of results with IK. But I think just if you're a beginner, I would probably stick to FK, because that's kind of what you want to learn first. I'm just going to check. Well, actually, I think this is still playing around with something on my body. Let's make this is all 0. I think this is... Let's back to 0. I should have checked this before I started. This will get a bit faster. When I start getting my poses in, I will start being a bit faster with the animation. I said this was my first stream, so bear with me. Okay, put those off. Okay, and then if I go back to... Okay. Cool, okay, awesome. Right, this is a bad pose, let's fix the pose now. So yeah, she's going to be leaning forward now. Let's do the root first. She's leaning forward and down. I want to get this hip working. I mean, the thing is with these poses, the geo gets really sort of twisted. Her clothes are quite black, it's hard to see. She's leaning forward quite a lot with her. The poses arm a little bit, this arm's distracting me. Let's put the shoulder in. Oh, we go across. Like this. Down. Hello, virtual. This finger pose is quite nice. Try and capture that pose. So the wrist is going to be pointing this way still. Let's try and get this in. I could actually use the, I might use the curve for this one. So I want the thumb, no, index, no, I want the ring to pinky, right? Curling in. Maybe I could do the pinky a bit more. This is where I said earlier, if you're watching, how my fingers are strange. So I can't always tell exactly how I should curl. Mine curls like this with the overlap. So I always want to like overlap the fingers like this and bring it in. But I think that's wrong. Because if you look at her a little bit, hers a bit more straight. But there is still some sort of definition there. This is a bit more. Okay. The thumb is kind of. Zoom. I'm using the 2D pan and zoom, by the way, if you're wondering. Zoom. No, I think I can use these bend bones to get a little bit more on this. Maybe. I think this was better. Maybe the angle that you rotate or transform the bend bones is quite important. Because if you animate it, let's say I want it to come out this way, right? Like technically I wanted to do this. That's the position I want. This looks quite broken because it's clearly over exaggerated. So I think actually going backwards and making that position more, I guess with the direction of the arm is what you want to go for. Like the bicep, it should go like this way out. So I'm trying to make sure I follow that kind of line rather than, and I guess same for this one, maybe a little bit less more subtle. I might leave that. What I do want to do is make sure this body isn't blocking the pose, because this line here is a bit ugly. So I'm going to try and do this cross bit more. Yeah. I might do facial, as I said. I'm still thinking about facial. But I think I should. This foot is annoying me. I feel like this is not how she would be posed. She's definitely quite low to the ground, maybe. Maybe it should come further forward. And then he can go lower. Yep. That's too much for me. Let's look at the hips a bit more. No, I've never lived in Singapore. I've only lived in South Korea, actually. I'm from England. I'm English, but my wife is Korean. So, yeah, I live in South Korea. I've been here for quite a while. Almost, not quite 10 years, but getting close. I think 9, I think. But yeah, I'm going to move back to the UK probably in a couple of years. Because we have a daughter, and I'm not sure if everyone's been to Korea or knows about Korean sort of education. They may have lots of very good students who get good results, but the stress is quite high on the kids. So I'm going to try and give her an English education. My wife agrees. Not that England's like the best in the world by any means, but just it's what I'm used to. My wife also went to English schools, so yeah. Right, I'm not liking this shoulder. I mean, I know that she is. Imagine how she will come. Okay, I'm gonna actually make my first sort of key. Let's just select. Not enough grabs. I don't want to select like this. Let's select this. So I want to select the whole rig, not the and not the base either. I'm going to make a selection set. So rig. That should be everything I've got, and then set a key. Right, let's actually go a few frames forward. I'm gonna actually set this pose. I think my issue is I'm trying to work out where the body's coming from. So I'm basically doing this pose with the body, but then I'm doing a different arm pose, which looks weird. So I think I need to go to this. I'm gonna make this pose completely first, and then I can adjust the pose beforehand so I can feel where it's coming from. It might make more sense. So she's gonna come down. I mean, her body is all going to be coming down now because I'm going to do that in world space for this one. This is up still. So it comes round. That feels better. Made this stand out. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the water right now. I'm going to ignore the water. Hand can drag more. I know that she's covering the leg, but I want my pose to be a bit more readable. So I'm going to actually keep it on. So I might not be able to finish this animation today because I forget I've only got about 2.5 3 hours. Probably not quite enough time. I'll see how far I get. Nice, I think. Line of action. It's a bit. I want to have this controller here, right, for the top of the head. I want one for the bottom. There is one for the bottom, I think. I believe there is anyway. Wait, no, I have face controls. I think it's here. Is the one? Is it this one? No, that's the neck. Is there that one for the bottom? No? Never mind. I'll stick to the top one. Yeah, I think that pose is looking a bit better now. Maybe her feet will come up more. Pretty broken foot. Yeah. It's under the ground. Does she have any other ones where her feet come? Thinking about the front foot now, how it might be posed. I think it's pretty flat though. But you can see it's turned in slightly. Okay. I'm gonna make this. Sorry, the really good thing about this plugin, as I said, the keyframe plugin, I can change the offset. So I'm actually make this to 14. And that should mean that this pose is now the same as it was before. See, it's the same. Oh wait, no, sorry, minus 6 is better. No, I can't do maths. It's 14, no? Am I being silly? I think silly. I don't know. Let's leave it as it was. 4. Okay. That's why. That's why I changed the timeline of Maya. That's why. So if I do this now, I should know. Nope. 14. Nope, -6. There we go, finally. I'm so bad at maths that... Yeah, there we go. Now, frame 10 is now the right place. Good. Okay, cool. Right. So, I'm gonna take this pose, I'm gonna copy it. So I'm using Animate just to do copy pose. And I'll come back to frame 0 to animate the thing before. That should be animated. Why is that not? Rig selection. There we go. Cool. Okay. Right. So let's find the next golden pose. Am I still going to change this? Okay, wait, well, last time on this pose, I think maybe I can make it a bit better. I think it's a bit more forward leaning. Change this to what the hell is that? Okay, object. I think because he's got a broader shoulder, you can't quite get that nice line. And also it is coming forward. Maybe this can come back now. I do spend the most time on first poses. I really do. The camera, I think, for now I'm going to leave it static, and then if I have time at the end, I'm going to follow the path of the water like a tiny bit. So like I'm going to just a rotation a little bit, like a little bit of subtle movement. No, if I have time. I mean, I do so much layout at work that I hate animating the camera, to be honest. It's not fun for me. So for this one, I might leave it. But it is something I need to improve at as well. So I might try. Okay, I'm gonna leave that pose for now. I think I can leave it. Let's find the next golden pose. So I think this pose here is probably the next one. So a good way I like to animate is I like to animate on 8s. There's a video on that on my channel as well, how I animate on 8s. And then I maybe go back and do 4s. So I think I might do something similar for this video because I've got quite a good reference. So this is frame 10, I'm going to go to frame 18. So I have 8, set the key. And let's work out this pose. So let's look at the hips first, right into the hips. So the hips are coming back and up, right? And the foot is also collapsing down to the ground. It's going to rotate over itself. So like the pressure is going into the front foot. So the weight's being taken by the front foot, it's pushing back. And the arm's coming down. So let's do this nice. And she's still quite a nice line of action, so I want to try and maintain that. So I'm going to go back up. Up. And I think maybe this. Let's put this back to 0. I'm going to hide this water. It's not water. So I'm going to put this controller back to 0 for now. And right? Yeah. And I'm going to rotate it backwards again. So I think that's more like what it is. The knees collapsing is going to bank. I think maybe there's a bank controller here, right? Yeah. And then I want to keep this nice sort of position here. It's a little bit hard because rig's always a little bit never completely perfect. So I want there to be like a break in the middle of the toes, so that the one toe's on the ground, one's rolling up, but that's quite hard to get. Because most rigs don't do that. Let's put the bank back again. Put this down. I think that's pretty similar. Let's get a very rough arm position. So this arm's going to come down. Just to get out of the way. I'm going to animate again later. So looking at this pose now compared to this pose, I think maybe the legs are too far forward because they need to have space to actually come up to this pose with the bend. So maybe I'm going to adjust this one before and bring this leg back a little bit, like that. So I've also have hotkeys, by the way, for the 2 machine, so in Animbot. So that's why I'm using on the keypad. I'm using number 1 on my keypad is basically this controller. It basically move it back again. So yeah, if I just hit 1 on my keypad, it goes to the pose before, and then number 6 is the opposite. So number 6 is going to be, if I move this again, number 6 will be just the frame ahead. And then also have things like number 2 is a very subtle shift towards the previous pose. Number 5 moves towards the forward pose. So hotkeys are your best friend for Maya. Right, so yeah, that's a bit better, I think. Get more space. I think she's still quite low though. But her body's coming up, and let's animate these. So the rotation of the arm is obviously being led by the chest, right? So the chest is going to have to come through. And this shoulder will also come up and around. Head. And this is going to come down. Up in the extreme. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna close PRF. I think my computer's being a bit slow. I'm gonna close PRF. Good. Okay. So comes down. I know the arm is hidden in this shot, but I might try and keep it a little bit visible. And because I think the body is rotating across, it's going to also have to lean across, because the weight shift is important. Hands come through. I'm going to animate the eyes, obviously, but I might not do the face. So. Not too bad. If you mean like body mechanic shots, it really does depend on the type of body mechanic shot. If the person or the character is moving in space, like he's moving across a room, or he's moving like down a mountain, or he's jumping around the room, I prefer layered, at least at first, because it helps you get the most sort of, the timing should be, and then you can animate the poses inside of the timing. So I want to get the motion of the timing correct, and then I can animate the posing and all the sort of extra stuff around that. So I take the cog and I animate the cog sort of perfectly, or at least 90% perfectly, and then I can change up the other parts of the body later. So there's a shot I did on my channel with a horse. And that horse, I did basically the entire horse to perfection, just using one controller, and then I went in and put the legs in, and then I did the other parts of the body. Let's get this pose right. I don't want to come to, I think I come back too much. Because I'm imagining that the yeah, this I think this pose can be fixed now, because I want this to come through. So I want to make the arc of the hips. So I'm gonna just change this first frame pose, as I think I have a better idea where it's going now. Like this. It's going to be. I might take the reverse C. Like a reverse C. So it's going to go from this sort of reverse shape, and then it's going into the forward shape. At least maybe a little bit. So let's have a look. I never done Tai Chi before, like or any martial arts, to be fair. So I have to guess how the motion will go. Right, this hip looks a bit broken. I think because it's going back, this is going to be closer towards the ground. Maybe so. Yeah, that's feel better. At least for now. So let's look at these hips. I know in the video she comes backwards, and I think that makes the most sense, but I want this nice arc, right? Like the arc of the hips, I want them to sort of come round and through. Jaws, oh, it should be spins. Show, viewport, viewplane, viewplane. Yeah, this is the arc of the hips I want. I mean, that's exaggerated, but like this sort of motion. So I need to make sure that I have space to do that. But even at this stage, I'm thinking of like arcs spacing. I think. And also at this stage, I'm definitely animating in the perspective a lot. I am still thinking of my posing, but I want to make sure that the mechanics work from every angle, and I can change later, and I can fix them for the camera shot when I'm polishing. Okay. And because it's got a flare motion, bring this arm in now. Arm comes through. But not this first post. This first post is annoying me still. Like it wouldn't be that. It feels off balance in a way. I can't quite tell why. Oh, this needs to be this one. Add this back to it. You shouldn't be here. You should be in the extra controller section. I think this first place still needs more work, but I'll move on. I think I'm going to lean this forward. I know she's definitely having... I want to kind of have, I guess, the opposite. I know she's going this way, but I want to maybe focus more this way. Because even though it's not really a punch, like she's going to like come round and up like this. I think this pose should still be a bit more angled forward. Just exaggerating that sort of line of action. And then I can like go back up into the sort of softer pose. This arm can still be visible. Like I said, I'm not going to try and pop this one-to-one. I want to try and make sure the posing looks good in my camera. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next portion now. It's going to be 26. And then it's definitely more like upright now. So it's kind of the same overall pose, but just more like relaxed. So upright. But there feels good. I'm going to put a little bit of translate Z across the side, I thought. This is more like a ballet pose, you could say. Yeah, it's very sort of like a dance, isn't it? So this is going to be good. I haven't done much to the fingers again because I'm going to do the fingers a bit later. But I might still do a little bit actually. There's quite a big change here. So I might try and by the way, if you don't know what I'm doing, if you click I didn't know this for a long time. In the viewport options, you see Alt 1, Alt 2, hide polygons and NURBS curves. So I just do this and this. So if you want to select a controller, I just hide the polygons and just it's a bit easier for me. I don't really need to have a picker either, because with the selection sets plus this method, I don't need a picker. The pickers are good sometimes, but for the face, they can be a bit tricky without a picker. Still want to have a nice little silhouette. I like it. Maybe. That look cool? Can tell. Maybe that's cool. There's one. I'm gonna put the thunder. Not too evil. Like a sort of thunderbolt, like a fire bending sort of thunder, like a lightsaber duel with like lightning, force lightning. I don't know. It's not terrible. Okay, so that's. I want to get this FK chest whole thing a little bit smoother. Still going to be rotating around. Now I think I might take away the arm, because I think she's going to come around, isn't she? If I keep going behind, this arm straightens. I think I need to get this arm out, even though it might be it might disappear from the camera. I think I need to at least maybe I can get it out here. This might need to change later. I think also this pose might change as well. What's the hand in now? Yeah, it's like this relaxed hand. Let me see change the hand. I want it to change. Okay, so I've also got these selection sets. Yeah, it is for chains and stuff. I mean, I use like a good timing that question. I have made two sets, one for left hand, one for the right hand, all the controllers. So I'm gonna set the right hand. I'm just gonna animate this default pose. But this one needs to be added. That's why it's not working. Add selection. And then hit default. It should be a default. Yeah, so now I can work on this relaxed pose. I think she's going to be rotating her hand like it's going to be cupping from like round. So let's adjust this. Still relax controller. Relax. Maybe I won't use that. This is just like perfect, so I won't use that. Maybe I get the shoulder out a little bit more. I don't want to hide the face too much. I'm not animating it, but I don't want to hide it either. Feels okay. First pose is terrible, I know, but I'll fix that later. Okay, right, let's go to frame 34. Okay, so now the hand is completely coming across, this is coming down, and her hips are gonna, let's just go into the back foot, right? So I'm imagining, okay, so you can even kind of see her feet are twisting. So I'm going to try and animate that. It's a twisting motion. It's very subtle. But I might actually skip 34 for now. I might go straight to 42. And then I can put in between and I can do that one later. I think this pose is more important because it's like, it's very much of a golden pose. Look. Okay, so still not bend. This is gonna come out. definitely flat out, so this will be zeroed out. Cool. Also, is my mic quality good? I can't tell how good my mic is. Is it too loud, too quiet? Is the music also too loud, too quiet? Any feedback would be great, because this is my first time. So, I'm still learning. But I'm using a pretty good mic, I think. The OBS setup is a little bit confusing. So I'm hoping it's working. Do let me know how it sounds. I really appreciate it. Goes back to 0. Okay. So this controller is going to bend. That. Okay, it's going to be now coming across onto this back foot, so I think the weight shift is going to go across a bit more, and obviously backwards. I don't want it to be completely straight, but I do need to be quite straight. Okay, and then, well, thank you for letting me know. Cheers. Okay, so this arm. Okay, so the whole body. I'm actually going to zero this out now. And then take all these controllers. I'm going to put them 0. Okay, so I'm going to try and get something a bit better with the hips by itself. Rotate this more. And then... Okay. So... The chest is now... This is kind of the line of action now, isn't it? Or I guess this side here. This pose. So let's try and get that in. Lean back a little bit. And then use these 3 FK controllers and twist them round because the body's leaning backwards. Back. I might use this hip one just to adjust the hip. He feels off balance from the camera angle. I think he needs to come across this way. Let's get this arm out so it doesn't feel too broken. Oh, that's my alarm. Sorry for that. Back to 0 as well. Open up the hand. Relax pose. It does have a minus value, that's quite good. I want to like have this. That looks pretty poor compared to that. So I might do this manually. Put this back to 0. What's spread? Does spread help? Does curl help? Does curl? This doesn't it? Bend. That's just bending it. Okay, I do this manually. So the thumb is completely sort of rotated out. But it does come in though, like it's squinching together, I think. I always hate animating thumbs because I'm never quite sure how the muscles. I think that's everything I hate animating. I keep saying that. I do love animating, but everything seems to be annoying for me when it comes to the individual controllers. I mean, animation is quite hard to be honest. It does require practice. So I'm trying to, on purpose, do things I don't like. So I did a video yesterday on blinking, just because blinking is for me a chore. Like I just want to animate quickly, and blinks seem to get in the way. But once you realise that blinks are part of the sort of emotion of the character, then it becomes more of a tool we can use to sell your shot. Okay, let's look at this again. I think the outer fingers, or the index finger, is it? They are spreading. These are curling in. Here. So, for any questions about anything I'm doing, or anything even just related to Maya, you let me know. Because this is, I guess, meant to be educational. The stream. I'm trying to be educational. So, if anything you're struggling with, I can try and help you out. Don't hesitate to ask questions. I'm actually surprised I got 4 viewers. I was expecting 0 viewers today because I'd never streamed before. So I'm very grateful you're here. Yeah, let's fix the head. I know I jump all over the place. That hand is not finished, but I think I need to get some other bits sorted out. She's leaning forward, I think. Well, I think maybe I've rotated this the wrong way. This should be rotated forward. He's like collapsing in. That maybe. Yeah, that feels a bit better. Let's get his hand. So the shoulder is raised a bit, and then this is obviously completely back. Let's actually put this both to 0. Sometimes if you get a bit confused, just put things to 0 and restart. Because yeah, I think that already is closer to what I want. So this is still coming in, I think. The wrist is going to be rotating outwards to like have sort of pose. And then bring this up like that. And then the eyes looking for this and still. And the neck. So I think the line of action is like this line of action. So I want to make the neck follow that line contour. Okay. Let's fix his hand again. Does not seem right. Maybe I can use some of the curls, the relaxed pose. Maybe I can curl these in. I think I know if I have my pure F open again. I'll show you what I want. But I know what I want. But I can't quite get it. Okay, so yeah, I basically want the if you imagine Elsa from Frozen, she has these magic hands. The pinkies curl in, but the outers curl out. That's kind of what I'm going for. If everyone saw that. Yeah, like that sort of pose, I guess. So I'm gonna try and make that. But like I said, I don't like doing hands, so I'm pretty bad. Let's curl this in. And curl 2 and 2. Then is there a cup controller? Isn't a cup? Is there? Then there's like a cup controller, either on the rig itself or like in the channel box. But there isn't. So I'm gonna do this manually again. So I think this one in the back, you can bring this in. And this is why I have my weird fingers. Like I want to do things that make sense for me, my fingers, but it doesn't make sense for actual real people. I'm not real. I want some space in between these hands as well. I want to. If one big block is ugly, I want a bit of like negative space. It's too much. It looks good from this angle, but it's terrible from camera. Maybe this way. Maybe that's better, yeah. Yeah, that's better, I think. Animate it down, and then you can see the individual digits of the fingers. Up. And then I think this can come in. Yeah, some of my friends did like game FPS animation, and hands are really important. And I know this is true for every single part of the body, but neglecting the hands does have big consequences for the quality of the animation. I think my weakest areas animation are probably hand animation. And potentially after that. Like, hands are just, I think, by a long way, my worst part of animation. Is that looking okay? Right, I think bends can be animated slightly here. So like I said before, I don't want to animate to the camera. I want to animate how it makes sense anatomically. So, this way, I want the. I mean, this time it works both ways, but I want the curve like this. So I want to animate away from the camera down. If I did this position just to get that curve, it would look strange, as you can tell. So I'm not this way. Okay. I think this shoulder can, because the arm's still fairly forward. I think the shoulder just come around a bit more. And the shoulder drops, so just dropping down. This is why I like having the arms in global. I want to do the shoulders now without having to the arms like get screwed up. I can just adjust them slightly just so it doesn't like here you see it's foreshadowing, also like foreshortening. The word foreshortening? Yeah, so I want that negative space here so the pose reads. Okay, maybe. I think it's not going to look too bad. I think I can open up this hand a bit more. Expensive. Cool. Left hands. Might be able to do this manually just from this position. Just relax this whole hand a bit so it just opens up. Do I have anything on the curl? What am I going to do? Do I? No. Zoom in a bit more. Definitely more spread. Spread this out. I'm going to spread it from here. Some rigs don't have these controllers on the base of the wrist, and I hate it because if you man it just from here, it looks a little bit broken, like nothing's moving. From here, it really does. Like the whole skin moves, and it feels a bit more realistic. I'm not sure if it is or not. I mean, I think the muscles from the fingers actually start in the forearm, so they're all like some tendons pulling. It's like not actually muscles in the fingers. It's just it's tendons and ligaments being pulled. So I think actually doing it from the base is a lot more realistic. Even so, I don't want to animate this a little bit. They are connected. So, and that's a fairly simple pose from her. Might keep it simple for me as well. It's not the most interesting pose, but hold on. Okay. Maybe. Okay, let's animate this pose. So I'm going to select the whole rig. I'm going to hit in between the middle to get the middle point, and then see what we can do with this. So I think the wrist is. I think in this position, the hips are going to be leading more towards frame 42. So this is where I have my hotkey set up. So I'll actually just show you why not. So this is Animate specific, so if you don't have Animate, then you can't do this. But there are other plugins like that which you can use. And also the hotkeys aren't needed if you're just using Toon Machine. Like you can just click on the toolbar as I said. But the hotkey I have, just so you know what I'm doing. You go down to here you see how I've blend to neighbor, so it's going to blend towards the neighboring poses. That's number 2 on the keypad, and then the other direction 5, so it's either direction. And then I have down here at the bottom I have 1, so the 100% pose before. Number 6 is 100% the pose ahead, and then 3 and 4 are like 2/3 of the pose, so favouring one or the other. It just helps me just being like quick. So for example, if I wanted to make this pose, I know it's going to favour this pose. I can click maybe 3 on the number pad or 4. So 4. It's going to go towards that, but it's not the same pose though. It's different, but it's closer to frame 42. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to. Oh yeah, the fingers. Yeah, smearing is good for the fingers. My work is pretty realistic at the moment. Like I haven't done much cartoony stuff. I did some test things at work which are really cartoony, but I can't show you them obviously. But they were just for fun. They weren't really part of the actual show. I'm doing a very, very realistic style show. It's for kids, but I mean, there's no squash and stretch, for example, which I feel a little bit strange. Like I can't actually squash the face at all. But anyway, that's work stuff. Yeah, so I'm favouring this pose. And let's get the hands working now. So the hands, the arc of the hands, it comes. So this is, in my shot, is the hands coming up. So I think coming down makes the most sense, and then up again. Yeah, because I think this, if I go straight from here, and the hands, like if the hands over here, and I just go in a straight line to this plate, it's a bit boring. So I think I'm going to go down and up and under. So I think that means 44. She's on her face. I'm going to bring it down low, which I actually already have done naturally because I posed it correctly before. I can bring it down a little bit. Maybe bring the shoulders down tiny bit as well. And I think this pose is pretty slow. So I think for the bottom FK controllers, again, I'm going to favour 4. So that's the, I'm going to go towards that pose. But then for the top, I might favour the one who's going to favour this pose. I might even just nudge it a bit more. And not just 1, 2. Big nudge. Yeah. I mean, again, the timing's wrong, but the actual arcs feel okay. Don't look at the spline version of this, by the way. I know it still looks weird in spline. I should probably put this actually into set the rig. Okay. Yeah. That's easier to watch. Okay, so let's work on the other hand, this hand here. So it's coming round the body, it's not going up and under, it's going round. So this goes out, and then it's going out to right. So I might take this shoulder back a little bit, and then it's down. Open up the wrist and the hands. I might keep these fingers as they are, because I'm going to be using. This is quite a nice pose, so I think I might just make sure the wrist is angled correctly. But yeah, and I think I want this pose to come further across. I might change the whole timing of it. I know water bending is like really slow and sort of methodical. I think after I get my blocking pass done, I might actually speed up some sections. Like this section here, it does feel nice in the video with how I'm doing it. For animation, I think it could be a bit faster. She like holds that. She holds this pose for longer, but she gets to the pose quicker. But that's later on when the timing changes. So this whole thing, I think it's quite a long moving hold. I might make this quicker later on. Yeah, let's find the end of this moving hold. About there, right? Yeah. So I'm doing more than 8 now just to keep that pose in. So let's just animate a very small, subtle moving hold. But what I might do is I might just favour. No, I did it manually. So I'm going to take this pose, move it down a little bit more. Bit of rotation. Take the FK controllers. Make sure I'm world space. World space. I'm going to back a little more. Might be too much. But then the arms are still moving. So I move this up. I don't like this. Yeah, I might do that. Feel good? It doesn't feel good. I think maybe this pose needs to come back over here more. And then it can come across a bit more naturally. How long have I been filming for? Check my timing. Cool. Okay, cool. So then, yeah. Yeah, and then I think how this pose moves. This arm moves the most, isn't it? So by the end of this pose, the arm is basically out. And this arm is extended. It's a little bit flatter. It's a broken wrist now. There's a bit more up. I think this is more like the key pose here, in a way. This is more of the final pose. So I'm going to try and work on this. And I might adjust this pose a bit more. But I think this pose is what I want to really aim for. It does look a little bit off balance. Oh. Like the neck and the head into the chest. I've got the line of action of this shot. I'm not quite sure exactly. Oh, hey, Trash. So. Yeah, this has got. Yeah. Let's think about this. So, this is the line of action of this pose. I do like. It's just going through here. But I also feel like this pose, I think I'm going to maintain this line of action still, right? So I think I need to change this pose a bit more. And have it sort of actually follow the same line of action. Let's just this. That's how feet move. Do our feet move a lot? No. She's moving backwards in space. I can see it. She's moving backwards in space. So if I'm edging from the top, she's like she's going round here and then going backwards to the hips. No, I'm not really a freelancer. So no, I actually work in television for a TV show. I can show you the TV. I can't show you my work because it hasn't been published yet, but I can show you the TV. Yes, I work in South Korea in a television show. I've been here for quite a while now, actually. Just trying to find the link because this is the character I work on. Well, this is the 2D version of it, anyway. I've got to find the 3D versions because I'm working 3D animation, not 2D. Yeah, so this is the TV show I'm working on. Season 1. It's characters. I mean, it's quite fun. It's definitely made for kids, but yeah, I like it. So if you're asking how long do I spend on a 10-second animation, it really depends on what I'm animating. For example, when I was studying at work, I could spend like 4 weeks on 10 seconds. At work, I have a pretty strict schedule, and also I have to. The quality isn't low, but it's not like it's not high either. It's TV shows, right? So I could probably do 10 seconds a day, but it's lots of like just dialogue, talking. It's not really like body action mechanic, not jumping, or it's just a guy standing and talking. So it's very much just, I guess, dialogue, lip sync. I mean, sometimes 10 seconds a day is on the low end. I could do up to 30 seconds a day sometimes. So it depends on the shot. I've been working as an animator, including as I was studying, but when I was studying I was doing freelance work, so I guess 3 years now. And yeah, it's been really fun. I made a big career change. I was a teacher originally, and then I decided to basically, I like teaching, but I didn't like it as a career forever, so I needed to make some sort of change. And yeah, I was using Blender for modeling and sculpting, which I haven't done in a while, to be fair, but that was my first hobby. I never thought animation was really for me. I can't draw, and also I had this weird idea that if I wanted to do animation, I had to learn to model first, so I can make my own models to animate, which is completely stupid. Like, if you want to animate, just find rigs and animate, which is what I'm doing now. And yes, I went to Animation Mentor, and I yeah, I graduated a while ago. Now working in television. I think this wrist is still working. I'm also animating a bit slower than normal today because I'm trying to talk and be educational as I go. I am normally a bit faster than this. Okay, I think that's okay for now. Maybe hips go back a bit in space. That's what I was saying, wasn't it? They go round here this way. If you weren't here at the start, I guess you weren't here. I'm trying to do the animation challenge, which is the Agora challenge they do every month. This thing. So there's loads. All these rigs are free, so I would check out the website. Mostly for Maya, but also Blender rigs too. Yes, this month is martial arts, so I'm gonna try and just do a quick Aang waterbending thing. Okay, let's find the next pose. So rig. And this is now, okay, so I'm going to go back to doing it on 8, so 57, let's go to 65. Okay, so now the hips definitely are going backwards. More. I mean, I would say this animation is beginner workflow, how I would do it as a beginner. So, I mean, if you go, I'm going to put this on YouTube afterwards, so you can watch the whole thing. And I do have some videos on my channel of like beginner, like a walk cycle and stuff. So if you go to my YouTube channel, like I can show you now as well. Like it's a little bit old, so I would say that my animation skill has improved since I made these videos, but the actual workflow is still the same. And actually, I'm doing a pretty similar workflow in this stream that I did in this video. So I'll find it for you. It's on my channel if you want to go there, but it looks like this one. We'll level up your blocking. So this is my channel, and then the bottom here, it's this one, level up your blocking. This step over pose to pose workflow is how I animate this same type of animation. So I would say in this animation I do a little bit more layered. It's not completely pose to pose, but I would definitely think between this stream and this video, that's the best way to do beginner animation, like using those two techniques. So and also a really good channel that I like is Chester Sampson. You can look him up on YouTube. He has some really good tutorials for beginners. Okay, so now I'm going this way. So I think the head's leading this action, right? Because she's going to look down at where she's going next. So I'm going to bring the head forward first. Might even bring the eyes down as well. And if you heard me earlier, I'm not animating the face, at least yet. I might not have time anyway, because I've got basically today to do the whole animation for this body mechanics thing. If I have time, maybe in another stream, I might do the face. But yeah, today I'm just going to do the body. So the body's coming back, the chest is going to collapse too, because of course he's rotating round. So he's going to bring his whole torso and body round. I'm checking I am. Yeah, a little bit better. And then the hand pose is pretty similar. Maybe I'll put it back to 0 for start. Sometimes, as I said earlier, you've got to put these back to 0 so you can make sure you're not going too off model. So now I want to kind of create the opposite line of action. I want to now go this way. She's gonna, where's she going to? She's going this way. So I want to make sure this is now my line of action. So a good trick for doing your poses when you're making your golden poses is to think back and forth with either compression or open, which is mostly to the face or even the whole body. So you're going in and out of poses, and also having the C curve and then the opposite C curve. So you have these inverted poses. It's quite nice as a good technique to get some variety. Okay, so let's work on this pose again. So I'm pose first. So I'm still in the process of turning. So it's not completely rotated yet, but it is still rotating. This arms, I'm going to bring the arm up a little bit. I'm going to rotate the shoulder down. I think this can rotate forward again. I think maybe more towards the front foot. I think maybe the eyes always annoy me. If the eyes aren't correct, I can't focus on anything else. But I mean, I am trying to avoid the face. As I said, I'm just trying to do the body. I don't like these fingers. Maybe have it up more. Maybe drag the hands. Yeah, I might drag this hand because I don't want. What I don't want to happen is I don't want the sorry. I don't want the body to be completely covering like this. So there's no like silhouette here. This is really bad silhouette. Go to lighting, and no lights. You see, they can't see what's happening. But if I have this out still, you can the silhouette feel a lot more clean. So that's one thing. Thank you for watching it in the past. I'm grateful. Yeah, I am trying to be more consistent with my YouTube videos. I also have I've got a full-time job and I have a daughter. It's very young, so I'm very busy. But if I can make more videos for beginners, I'm trying to. Yeah, thank you for following that. I appreciate it. I want this to drag, but I feel if it drags too much, then it's going to feel, because this is what's leading this motion, it's kind of bringing the arm around. Maybe let's do, let's go to frame 73. I'm going to do this pose first, because this is a pretty clean pose that I can make. Okay, so let's get this over. Like this. Now the knee, I might need to go back and change some of these poses. You'll realise that when you go to the graph editor, there's loads of things that are like this is all the same, right? So I need to fix that later. Get this up a bit more. Don't want to be too. Yeah, okay, let's get the arm through now. Arm comes down. This obviously comes up. It's bent arm. I think these hips need to be rotated now because I've ignored this for quite a while, but they need to be animated. This. I think even this pose, you know, it's in favour. Yeah. I think it's still open. What's good to imagine, where is the actual water in this motion? I'm thinking the water's obviously like here in this chest area, and then yeah, I'll work out the water later. I think it's pretty close to being okay anyway. Okay, so this shoulder is going to come down because it's going to be like pushing into the body. So we're going to bring the shoulder down. Yeah. I think the neck can come down too. I know she's quite upright in this position, but I want to make it sort of more of a sort of softer curve. And I imagine there's water like in this pocket. here, then I'm gonna bring this down. Maybe even bring down the wrist a little bit. What's a hand doing? Hand doing something funny. It's just a claw pose, I suppose. I should animate that. I'm gonna animate this pose. It's done. I do currently have 0 viewers, so if you watch this at a later time, hopefully I'm still being entertaining. But when I was learning, even when I'm at work, just doing my own stuff, I actually put on other people's animation streams or even just VODs. Not to watch, not necessarily to learn, but just to have them in the background, like as a, I guess, motivation, or like I guess a study buddy type thing. I'm working with them in a way, like even if it's unrelated animation, it could be completely like 2D drawing stuff. But just so I have something to entertain me, because work, even though I have colleagues all around me working, we're all in our own headspace. Because of the speed of my TV show, we don't always get to. We don't have dailies, for example. We just have. We upload our work to the director or the supervisor, and he just says yes or no. And if there's a no, he sends you like a written note what to change, and then you change it, upload it. There's not really much communication, and I think that's partly to do with the fact that it's such a high-speed industry in television. Also, I think maybe, at least my company, they value quantity over quality, which I think is true for most TV shows. But yeah, so a little bit sad sometimes. I would like to have a bit more of a communication, sort of talking session about animation at work. I don't think there's the time for it. Plus, I also, even though I do speak Korean, it is a Korean company, and I'm not fluent. So sometimes, even when they do talk to me, I think they get a bit nervous. Not nervous and like not friendly. They're really friendly. I love my company because the people there. Just no one speaks English, so they try to use simple Korean, or they don't use Korean at all. They try using English, but they then get confused. So this is a lot of miscommunication, basically. So, but that doesn't change the fact that no one really talks anyway, because it is very busy. Everyone's working. Is that a good pose? I think it's 2 over. It's 2 over curl, isn't it? She's gonna bring it up. She's gonna bring the fist round and bring it round, isn't she? Like, I think it's gonna be curled in still. No, I might leave it at that. I want to get this elbow out because I want there to be some. Again, if I showed you before, if I turn off the lights, you can see this negative space is pretty bad. So if I can just take this arm, bring it out a little bit, and maybe lower down the elbow slightly. You see how it now feels a bit nicer? I think I might soften this wrist as well. I feel like I want to. Maybe 20. Yeah, like I said, I don't do any Tai Chi or martial arts, so it's hard to know exactly what feels correct, natural. Maybe. I haven't watched the Kung Fu Panda movie. I haven't watched it yet. I've heard mixed reviews about the story, but I think the animation is still quite high, the quality of it at least. Good? Maybe. I think this pose needs to be changed though. I think it might come back later for in-betweening, because I think that's a bit wrong. I've got the locks. This shot needs a lot of splining, so we'll see. Okay, so let's see what's next. the lights back on. I think maybe this knee comes out though. He's got the monk pants, so it's not quite correct because it's oversized. So I'm gonna make sure I don't sort of forget that. I think that's okay for now. Okay, let's keep going. So let's go to frame 81. Okay, now she's definitely bringing this arm in. It's gonna be quite a fast motion back. It's gonna be a pretty big pose change. And this foot, I might actually animate this quickly in this pose. It's gonna rotate up a little bit. No, I want to use the foot now, I think. Does it work? Yeah, that's right. Does it have a limit? Nope. Bank? No. Maybe I just do the pose? Yeah. Good enough. And then that much maybe. Okay, cool. Right. Let's copy this pose again, just reset it. Do the same poses now. Okay, so let's get the hips going. So the hips are actually coming down and rotating in like that, and the foot's going to clap in a lot. I'm going to animate the roll control here. I'll reset the toes. I might think. Yeah, you're not touching, are they? I might go back and check this. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Okay. And then this knee's going to come out. It's going to come in, and this hips, they're going to come down towards the ground, or basically down into the center of gravity, which is going to be like down here, I think. But they're also going to rotate back upwards. So the whole body and the whole chest is rotating up. So rotate this together in object, or I think world space for now. Rotate it up. It's going to rotate in, and then this arm is definitely going to rotate back. And so is the shoulder. It's going to rotate externally, and then this is going to come up again. Okay, right. I do want to. So this is the line of action I want to go for now. This line of action. So I need to adjust this pose a little bit. Can I get this to work nicely? That feels pretty bad, that transition. A bit higher. Let's start. Bring the head round. So I'm actually imagining maybe he's going to be like, looking now towards where he's going to go. He's going to be throwing the water in a second. So let's get the eyes across. Eye dart. It's up again. I think this is one of the reasons why FK can be annoying sometimes. Because you want to do a very specific pose, but you're going to rotate back and forth constantly. And it gets annoying because you can't get quite what you want. But IK, you just like pose out exactly what you want straight away. It's a bit easier. Let's get this hand at least out. Please, animated, no. Yes, put this back to 0. Actually, I'm gonna put this to 0 too. I don't want to like get too much gimbal block and stuff. So yeah, that's not good. Okay. I think I may have over rotated this. Then I have. Let's set all back to 0, and then we can do this again from scratch. Like I said earlier, if you're ever in doubt, just reset the pose. So this is just do this by 180 first, 180. Okay. Yeah, that's too much, clearly. So let's go back a bit. Oh, that's the wrong way. Why? Okay, and then I can rotate this up as well. Because the joint can also rotate the arm. So you don't want to do everything in one place. Still need to get some there. I'm thinking sunbend. This does feel very broken. I'm not sure if it's me or the rig. I think it's probably a bit of both. Probably doing something wrong with the rotations. As you can see here, like, where does Aang actually have the paint from? We go to Aang body paint. That'll help him with the anatomy of how it should look. I think it does come from underneath the arm, right? Have a look. It's hard to see because it is. I mean, you can see here it does go over and goes up and back, so it is kind of correct. Okay. In that case, I might focus more on this pose. I think that deformation won't be seen anyway. I'll fix it maybe later using this. Okay, let's work on the actual body. I still think the body needs work. So he's definitely leaning down, as I said. I think the hips need to then come in more. This. And then the bottom FK is going to be rotating with the main hips and with the main controller. And the top's going to be like coming backwards, like dragging. And that can hopefully get me this nice C curve I'm going for. Yeah, like this one here. It still looks a bit rough. Controller can come up. Round. I don't like the fingers crossing over the chest like that. And that's a better pose, but I think that's too far. It does. He sticks in quite close. Yeah. How much should I break the reference material and do my own thing? Let's get these fingers reset. So left hand controller, and I'm actually going to add this to the selection set. Cool. I'm going to reset that to default, because I think that's annoying me as well. Yeah, that's one reason why it's looking weird, because the fingers actually are already quite rotated. So that's why it was looking a bit broken. Let's do a very rough, relaxed pose first, and I can change it later. Right, do I have the same? I've got something similar already, haven't I? This pose is similar. So I'm going to take this pose. Left hand. So this is a trick I do sometimes. I don't want to bother with all the animate stuff. There are ways to do this with animate. You copy the pose to way past your timeline, and you can select it, and then you can mirror it. I'm going to use animate to mirror, but you can just copy to the side. And then now I have this pose, and then I can basically copy this pose by doing C6 and copy it back there. And then now I can delete this key. So now I have basically that pose copied over here. I've got really bad UDA rotation lock here. I'll fix it later though, because I'm working in step here. Cool. Doesn't feel too bad. Let's move from timeline a bit further. I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to do this for. I was thinking maybe 200 frames. But I still got to animate the water as well. But she's got a very nice movement. Maybe this could be the final pose. This sort of pose. Actually, no, that's the final pose, because then she can actually throw the water. Like, as she goes past this frame, she can like push. That kind of thing. That's the final pose. So that's about frame 169. That sounds about right. Let's do that. Let's do that for now. Let's do 170 as my timeline. So that's my aim. I think that's a pretty good attempt for an afternoon animation, if you don't think about the face. Okay. Right. Stop that. I need this pose now. Wait, 81. Let's go to 89. If you are just joining now, the reason I'm doing this on 8s is because I want to get the basic framework of my animation down. Something I learned from a DreamWorks animator mentor. His workflow was doing it on 8s. It just means you get a really quick. I mean, I've been animating this now for an hour and 45 minutes, which to me is actually quite slow because I've been talking. But even so, hour and 45 to get almost 100 frames of animation blocked out. It's pretty good, and I could get this in front of the director, and I could get feedback by the end of the day if I was in the studio. Right, so this is now a big transition. Let's look at how the body. Oh no, this. I still want to fix his hand. Sorry, I'm going to do this first. This needs to come way in. Does that feel good? Because I don't want the fingers and the hands to get lost in the body. And her, she's got black clothes, so you can see it clearly, but it's skin on skin here. So I don't want it to be lost. Well, I think for now I'll keep it there. Because I think that is correct. Maybe with a breakdown I can try and make it nicer. Okay, let's do this face, the 89. So yeah, again. Okay, right, let's see the hips first. So it's gonna come back round. So it's gonna be like a circle shape. Now I'm just gonna get the pose done first. Pretty sure that the leg is gonna come round. I'm gonna put this back down to 0, the rolls and stuff, and this one too. At least close to 0. I'm imagining it's pretty flat. And of course, the FK, the arm is coming round, so the whole chest is gonna come round. With object mode, yeah. Or just in the transition Y for now. There. Yeah, and then obviously rotate forward. Because again, all about this like C curve and offsetting like different. So one pose is, let's say for example, this is my C curve here, and then beforehand it was like here, right? So it's the opposite, in the inversion. That's how you get nice poses. Cool. Forward. Shoulder 2. I'm going to reset the shoulder, but I want to make sure everything is keeping on model. This is obviously hidden. I think I might actually try and keep this left arm, or screen left arm. I want to keep it visible, but maybe I can't. I do think I need to rotate this on the Z axis as well. Keep this sort of interesting. I think this is going to be more upright. Maybe I rotate. Is that about right? Do these hips as well. So the hips. That's I'll put it to the feet pass. I do kind of pose to pose, but with the limbs, the feet and the fingers, I kind of not neglect, but I definitely don't do them thoroughly. My logic being, if I'm going to adjust the body later, unless I'm doing like a walk cycle where the feet are important, obviously, then I'm going to make sure the body is working correctly, and then the feet can work with the body. But I don't want to overstretch. I'm going to do pretty realistic, as you may have gathered from this animation. So no crazy poses, no like breaking joints. I'm doing like a beginner shot. Now she's looking that way because she's thinking you're moving into the next motion. It might do. It's pretty cool. Yeah, hungry. We're 2 hours doing this now. Might stop in about half an hour or so. I might try and get to the end of this blocking and then stop. And maybe tomorrow I will do the splining part. Okay. Okay. Let's leave that for now. I know she's definitely upright, but I want to keep her bent. Because I have this really nice sort of spin pose which I want to snap into. Okay, so 89, let's go to 27. Okay, this is a nice pose. I want to get this nice. So she's going to be coming up, and the foot is going to rotate here, so I'm going to do that pretty early on. So it's going up, and this foot hasn't moved the entire animation, I realised that. Hasn't moved. She drags the foot and then banks it. Okay. Let's put this down first so I move the translation correctly. A very small movement. Out. And then it's rotating in. And then I'm going to do that. And then of course this is coming completely, and the knees collapsing completely. But the body is opening up. And this is down to flat. It's down. That's the first. 0. Does it move the foot though? It's static. Pretty static, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm quite impressed with like Tai Chi and stuff, how they keep really strong as a base. They don't really. I mean, I'm not doing martial arts, as I said. I don't really know much about it, but it must be so good for your core and your whole body. You need that though. But this knee is going out though. Let's get the FK working. So I want this weight to be over this leg. I'm going to try and keep this C curve. The animation is hard, but really just think about all these simple rules like C curves and contrast. And just, I know it's a lot to think of in one go, but like if you break it all down, there's a lot of sort of basic rules you can follow, which get you some pretty decent results. I do find that actually the hardest part of animation isn't so much the mechanics, or it's not how to animate in Maya or Blender. It's nothing to do with that. The hardest part of animation is making up really fun ideas. Like being creative with your sort of your storyboarding. So basically, one of the 12 animation principles is layout or appeal, and that is by far the hardest one for me. Making things seem fun, interesting, like having a nice joke, like whenever you have something that needs to be just appealing, that's the hardest part. Because give yourself a year or so to animate, or even less. You can make smooth animation. That's not the hard bit. The hard bit is making a fun animation. Let's reset. Actually, let's reset this to 0, so I can do them together. So I might bring the body around first, more back, and then I can rotate it back a little bit. Maybe even this way as well. Okay. So the shoulders are completely down now. I'm going to turn the head. I like how she's moved the head first. Actually, maybe not. This actually feels nicer because I'm imagining he's in a fight, right? Or at least he's doing some sort of performance to a target. So he's going to have like a bit more of a focused or aggressive stance. He want to keep whoever's on the horizon, like outside of the camera, sorry, he's going to be focusing on that more. But she's more doing a sort of dance performance. That's not quite the same. Bring this in. This actually is a pretty good rig. Sometimes the rigs really break when they do the shoulder animation. This is kind of half pinching there, you can tell. I mean, there's a rig on the Agor website, which is show you. It's the Akali rig, which I've used a few times, and it's a good rig, and I don't dislike it. But the shoulders are not rigged very well. This one. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a rigger, so I may be this rig. I may be oversimplifying the rigging process, but yeah, it just does not animate very well, that rig for the shoulders. I think that's okay. I want to get this hand a bit more clean. Go for lights for the snowlights, I suppose. Okay, so she's got definitely more of a flat wrist, so I'm going to use that. Might should I do some fingers in this bit as well? Fingers are pretty flat, but I kind of like having a bit more space. I'm gonna leave this pose for the fingers as it is. Like I said, fingers and toes and feet, at least when it comes to like the sort of the breakdowns, I leave until later on, because I want to just get the body working first, even in pose to pose. This is quite a fast motion, so I think it keeps. I think I've got my settings set to default to blind, which I don't want. At least not for this animation. Yeah. So make sure it's all still and stuff again. Okay. That's okay for now. Actually, this neck could be better. Maybe this should be more like this. But it's still dragging through from the. It's a very fast action, so the hands are going to drag. Well, I think it's a bit nicer to have it drag. That feels a bit nicer. Let's turn the lights back on. This become this more? Yeah, that's a bit nicer. A really nice C curve now. But this does need to collapse more. Maybe the bank controller, does it work well for this? Does a bit, yeah. Yes, okay. Not too bad. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, 97, let's go to 105. See that? So it's a nice pose. Just a foot move. Foot just kind of stands still. Might even do a breakdown straight away for this. Normally I'd wait till the end to do things on fours, but this is quite a fast action. So I might do this straight away. Okay, let's just set this back to 0 so everything is locked down. And the bank is also to 0. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now this is now going more into this shape again. So you can, this is really what animation is about. Tai Chi is a good example. I didn't realize how good this was going to be when I started this animation, because I normally got a bit more of a subtle change, but with this animation is really good for showing you how you can get your C curves in the line of action. Okay, let's move the rig up. So it's definitely going to be a high pose. This knee is now coming back up again. It's just dragging. Oh, sorry for that. I live in South Korea, and the dust sometimes in Korea is not great. It's not too bad today, but it's a build-up effect. That's what lungs get. But... okay. Right, so let's do the spine. Definitely forward, rotating. Can't quite tell where this arm's going. Where's it going to go? It's down my side. Okay. I think I can probably keep that visible. And I am going to turn away now. I want the head to like charge up powerful shot. This needs to be lowered down. There's still a bend, and this IK controller is dragging, so it needs to have space to drag in a sense. Okay, let's lift this up. Get this dragging. I'm going to use. I have this this plugin, which is really useful. So basically, select any geometry you want to add. I have a link on my channel, so I want the feet as well. This. Let's do this too. Is everything right? Yep, okay, and add this with the arrow key, and then you can make a pose. And then I'll move to the side. And then now I can just keep that locked down, and I can look at the change of the pose. And I'll make it even a bit more transparent. It's a bit too big. There we go. And yeah, so now I can work on the foot, knowing where it's coming from, without having to key back and forth. It's a lot quicker. Going from there, so I want us to kind of drag this way. I'm going to actually do a toe tap as well. A bit more. She's going the opposite way. She's dragging in, isn't she? This way. Like a ballerina. I guess I'm just a... I don't really dance. I do nothing like this dancing, so I go to the gym, but I don't know how to like control the body in this manner. So I'm guessing she's dragging with the toes, so she's got a lot of control in that motion. It is going in. If you've got any questions, by the way, I know that I've got 4 viewers right now. If anyone's curious about what I'm doing or any other questions about Maya, do feel free to ask. I really want to get this nice steep curve. down, right? This is the one the body is twisted, the arm is straightened. It's a really fast action. I normally use I actually have a mouse today. I normally use a tablet. These like change every hour. I change back and forth just because it's good to have variety. But today I don't have that choice. Yeah, I think having the arm behind the body invisible is a lot nicer. Yeah, now I can feel that power a bit more. Bring it down there. So she's got her arm going this way, but I think having it going this way feels more powerful. Maybe the leg can come more. That may be why. Yeah. Bend this more as well. Oh, this leg is annoying me. I think something's wrong. Can't tell what. It may be. Oh yeah, that may be it. She's going this way, but it should be going more towards front. Like this. Yeah, that's what it is. And then that means this has more space. It's going to go behind the leg, right? Yeah, let's pick it up. It's going to drag in. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's coming up this way, and I can bring this in a bit. It's now it's got space to come up. If it's leading this way, you can then actually go into the standing pose. Cool games. Yeah, I've been a bit sad recently with gaming. So I used to play this game. I'm not sure you know it. I'll show you. It's a Lord of the Rings story. Legends of Runeterra. It's a card game, and I played it a lot, especially last year. But I'm not sure if you saw. They've basically got rid of the PvP version. It's still there, but the game is basically not being supported for this version. They're focusing on the PvE stuff. I like winning, so I want to win against people, not computers. So yeah, I've stopped playing that, and I was playing TFT as well, but that takes a lot of commitment and like time commitment. So I kind of stopped playing those games. I'm waiting for some more role-playing games like Star Wars. I think there's one coming out for Star Wars next year. But I used to play lots of League of Legends when I was younger. I'm too old now. I'm bad at the game. So I stopped. I'm 30 years old, nearly 31. And I'm married with a kid, so I have no time. Okay. What are games you're playing? What are you doing? I think it's still dragging from the bottom, right? But even though this is a nice pose, I think actually this needs to be dragging because it's dragging up from the base. Sure, if I feel what I mean is, he's coming from down below here, so he's going to come up, but then this is going to be dragging down still. So I want the fingers. I might need to do the fingers later, but yeah, I'm gonna leave that wrist at least dragging for now. Cool. Right. So, and then let's get this pose. I might do this breakdown, but I'm going to do this finishing pose first. That's what? That's 105. And I want to go to 113. Cool. So this now can be a bit more upright. Cool. So the body is still here. This foot comes up. And I might think I still want to have him kind of feel angry, or not angry, but focused. So I might move the head a bit more towards screen left, different to what Woman's doing. It's going to rotate though, because he's still rotating around. The momentum's going to carry through for the whole body, so. Hope this arm here and then this arm on the other side might feel a bit snappy, like pop. So I might have to adjust that later. We'll see. Oh, yeah, I used to love Overwatch 1. I did try Overwatch 2. But, I mean, for me it was the same game, but also a bit worse. I think lots of people have the same problem. And then I wasn't very good either. I'm really bad at shooting games. I mean, I was a Halo kid, like back in the day it was Halo. So like, that was my type of game. And that game now is not really popular enough to worth investing in. I want to keep some line of action. Maybe if I put the hips a bit more like this. How does this work? Does the offset? Let's see if there's the extra controls. Does this offset work? It does work. Okay. Later on, when I'm polishing, I can use this to adjust the actual. This look too. Yeah. Okay. Later on, I can make these poses a bit more smoother. For now, I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to animate too much at once, so I'm gonna turn them off. But just to check for later. It's nice to know that's there. I still want a bit nicer. Okay, cool. And then I can maybe. So I think our hips like that. I think in this situation you could go either way. You could have it so that the hips are dropping, like this way, so the weight of this hip is dropping because it's the weight of this leg's up. But I think because she's so strong and in control, and Aang is also in control, he's gonna have to strengthen the core to like keep the leg up, like this. So I want actually the angle to be this way. I think that makes a bit more sense. But the weight of this body does need to come up. She's off balance. That's why it's weird. He's off balance. Okay. Personal. This might be too drastic. Like having the head turn quickly might feel wrong. But we'll see. Let's try this as well. This might be too fast as well. That's how we go. So let's have this. That's 0. Just like 0. Fine. Delete this place as well. Pose doesn't look good yet. I'm not sure if it's me or the rig, but this doesn't seem to deform completely correctly. You can see like there's a bump. It might be me though, because I might be doing something wrong with the rotations. Let's just, yeah, you see that this feels too twisted. Adjust it this way. Maybe, yeah, maybe I should be doing the shoulder more. So like, if I crack this way, like that, and I can maybe adjust the shoulder. Yeah, that's probably better. It's good. These lines actually are quite a nice indication if it's broken or not. You know you can, because the elbow doesn't twist that much. It does. It is the elbow can't twist this way. Like you can't twist it in that direction, but the wrist obviously needs to still be connected, so you can't over twist that either. So I don't think I can twist my wrist that way much. It's mostly the shoulder doing the work. This is why I like doing short animations like this, because when I was trying to improve in the past, I would do like 500 frame like massive fight scenes, and I never finished them. And also I would learn very little because I never got to a stage where I was actually learning things. I was just doing like a blocking pass and maybe a staging pass, and then I would be overwhelmed and give up. So I'm really trying to like do short and sweet. So like the reason I did that blink video, if you saw it yesterday, was just because I made a blink by myself and I realized, hey, this is actually useful for other people. So I thought I'd make a video about it. And I learned things myself making that blink. Doesn't feel too bad in the posing. I feel like this might, in the splining, it might be too fast. Maybe I can keep this looking down then. Maybe that's part of the reason. I'm gonna try and... So yeah, that's nice. I want to get this nice line of action, but I don't want to break the spine. I'm going for a realistic, semi-realistic. Doesn't feel too bad, does it? Yeah, okay, I might just do this breakdown quickly. Again, normally I don't do this. I normally wait till later on in the process to do falls. I think for this one I want to just get this pose in now. Let's go to one-on-one. I think it's quite a big pose. It's a big movement. Okay, so I'm going to use some tween machine tricks here. So I definitely want this pose. Let's start off by just putting it dead center. So tween machine, dead center. Right. This obviously looks terrible. So let's work on some of these poses. So I think the cog is going to be favoring the 105 pose. So I'm going to go to tween machine. I've got my hotkeys for this, but I'm going to basically do like 2/3. And like push this towards there. It might be too much, but we can see later. Now the arm is clearly broken. That's probably Unified, so I might actually just check already. Let's do this. Select everything. Curves Unified, so it might fix it halfway. It didn't, so I'm gonna do it manually. That's fine. So I'm gonna bring this up. And I think I'm gonna also have the FK spine favoring the curve pose like that. So I know that the yeah, it's gonna be pretty much favoring this pose. I think the arm can drag more than the animation has. It should be quite smooth, but I don't want it to be too smooth. I want to have a bit more of a pose to pose. Well, not pose, like a cartoony-ish. I'm going for a realistic, but I still want to have nice, like, speedy moments. If it's all one smooth animation, it's going to look very floaty and not very fun. And if you look at the 2D show as well, it was obviously a cartoon, right? So this can come back quickly though. It's going to be like that. And you get this still visible there. I think I might make another ghost pose here. I'm going to delete ghost. I want this ghost pose. Why is that doing that? That should be delete all ghost. Huh? That's weird. That's not happened before. I want this to be ghosted. Make ghost pose. Huh? Right, I'm going to do this again. That's weird. Okay, let's just select this geometry and add it again. Something's going wrong. So I'm going to select all this, the body, and then the feet. Ghost pose. Make ghost pose. There must be some rigging things that are changing. I'm not quite sure why that's happening. Let's try again. Open up again. That's the first time that's ever happened to me, that problem. Okay, I don't know. That's weird. I'm not quite sure what's happening there. I'm gonna just do it by eye then. It's annoying me. Okay. Right, so I still want this right or left hand to follow a nice arc. So I think having it turned in this way makes sense, but I want to have some neutral space. If I can, at least. Let's turn off the lights. It doesn't look too bad, actually. I think if I make sure that this arm isn't blocking... Yeah. So look at the arc of this. So it's there, then it's there, then it's there. How does she move? She moves up or through? She moves quite down. I think maybe actually I want to come down with this motion. So this is going to be a down position. And it's going to come through like this. The 1, 2. Oh no, I need to find a nice pose. Tricky motion. Actually, no, I think this is this might be almost finished as well. It's a really fast action, so maybe I do carry it through really quickly. Like this. Bring this back. Negative space there. I don't really want to stretch. I could stretch it, but that might seem really broken. So that might be enough. Having this sort of edge might be enough. I think this can be lower. Down here lower. Really dragging those fingertips. I might even just break the joint slightly for this breakdown. So I'm going to break this back a bit. So this can't happen physically in the real world. You can't bend the elbow backwards. But just for this pose I might. And I might even adjust this bend bone so I get a nicer silhouette. I might leave that one. Let's go back to normal lights. Feels okay. Okay, this needs to then, I think, also come in. Looking down. Yeah, that feels okay. Maybe. It's out of. Maybe. How's the body looking? The arc. It's quite a straight line right now. I think that's going to be lower because it's going to be like she's pushing into this foot and then pushing off. So it's going to be like the arc is going to go up. See the arc? That's how it works, the arc. And I think that also applies to the rotation of the FK chest as well. I want that to like slightly compress down into that motion. It's just going to come around more and then rotate Z. That. I can fix this hand now. Maybe this rope, because it's going to be over top like that. So it comes up, so like this pose, the Finchon. I think when I spline this, that's going to look a bit jarring, so I might have to adjust that. But I think there might be a graph editor thing to fix up, not so much a post-to-post thing. For me at least, when I get to these sort of things, I want to actually go into the curves and fix them using the graph editor. But for now, I'll leave it at that. Okay. press this hand then. Cool. So for the two viewers in the chat, are you animators as well, or are you just curious about animation? What sort of animation do you do if you are animators? I don't really know what my demographic is at this point. Like, I do have about 1,000 subscribers, and I think lots are from India. I know some from America. I'm not quite sure at what level, because I mean, I am obviously working professionally, but I'm by no means the best animator in the world. So it'd be good to know what type of viewer is watching, so I can help them the most. Or at least make the content that applies to them the most. If it's beginner stuff like bouncing balls, I can do that. If it's bottom mechanics, I can do that too. Just text my wife, sorry. My wife's in Japan right now, on holiday with my daughter. Hence why I have this time to actually animate like this. And I thought I might as well use it, do it while streaming. I could do it by myself, or just personally working by myself, but I thought why not just do it online streaming? Because someone might find it useful. I think these outer ones are the ones that are peeling, and these ones are going to come in. It's a standard sort of magic hands pose. Should probably actually make this to a pose library and save it a bit quicker. Well, I'm stubborn, so I'm not going to. I have been using, I don't know why, I've been so stubborn with certain applications and plugins. I do use the library like at work all the time for my work characters. But it still took me like 2 months to actually open it, because I was like, I can't be arsed. I'll just do it manually this time. I don't do it next time. But actually using the library to actually get like saving your poses, like default poses or like default smiles, hand poses, it's so much faster. I was so stubborn. I'm being stubborn now, to be honest. Maybe that's okay. Okay. No, actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make good habits. I'm gonna make a hand pose. So let's select the right hand controller and the left. No, just let's go to the next. Let's go to the next frame. What's the nice? I think this is actually quite a nice pose. This one. Let's go to this one, and then I'm gonna mirror this temporarily. Cool. I'm gonna select both. So select right, select left. They should both be selected now. I have the same pose, then add pose and magic. That's what I call them. Zoom in to get a nice screenshot of them. Yes. And then save. Yes. Cool. And then I can go back and reg and delete this key for everything. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let's keep that. So, let's go to the next pose now. I think that one's almost done. For the first blocking pass, at least, or for the first key pose, that's done. Okay, 113. Let's go to one. Was it 113? Let's go to 121. So how does this motion work? This section is quite slow. I'm going to make it faster. Actually, no, maybe this section could be the water's building up, and then she like just throws a massive like tidal wave, or like. Anyway, let's work on this thing first. So 21. It's a pretty similar pose. It's more upright, want to try and get some line of action. It's going to be hard, which is set upright. I definitely can on this plane. I realise I can move this across more. Because that's... yeah. That's better. Cool. Did she move? Which way did she move? She's moving backwards. So I think for now I'm going to just animate it roughly, but then later on there's a really nice arc in her hips. She moves across and just slowly goes over, and the weight as it goes in, she just smashes down. I want to try and capture that. But for now, I'm going to block the mouse and get the pose in itself. So, let's just copy that pose before again, just to start in the same place. Okay, so let's keep going this way, I think. The leg is going to come up, and it's going to come across. And out a bit, and it's a touch. And this is... it's together. Wall space. No, it doesn't work. Comes rounds, so does the chest. Rounds. Up. I'm guessing she's going to also go up in space because her legs are. This is a bit lower. This is already hyperextended to be fair. This should be lower. To be fair, this is off balance from the back. Yeah. Should probably work on that first. Let's actually adjust this one. I need to get this pose. This pose needs to be perfect, otherwise it's going to not work before. So I think this needs to have some bend. Still balanced? I think that's balanced. A bit more balanced. That means this can go, yeah, then I can go up into this pose. I know in the animation it doesn't do this. Do a little bit of foot roll. Means the weight's going to shift to the front of the foot. Yeah. And this is going to upright. I'm going to do a very soft head turn just to keep that motion going. The eyes can match before, looking that way. And then the shoulders come up, arm comes up. This arm comes in, is decompress. I'm going to try and get the elbow out. It's silhouette. But this is why reference is so important. I know for this animation I'm just basically kind of copying one to one. Nothing wrong with that if you get good reference, especially if you film it yourself for acting shots. There's nothing wrong with doing one to one copying. But what is a bad thing is if you're just doing the copy and then you don't add your own creative flair. I don't mean like changing up acting choices or changing up mechanics. But adding like timing changes and making things less floaty, or adding character to your character, if that makes sense. Because Aang, as I said, he's in a fight stance, he's kind of fighting, or at least he's sparring, and she's dancing. So the different moods. So you want to make sure the mood matches your scene. So if you're doing parkour, for example, and you're doing a chase scene, and the guy's running for his life, you probably won't be doing something which is like really calm and confident. He's going to have a bit more anxiety in that. So the running might be the same. The mechanics are the same mechanics. You've got to add in that like anxiety sort of thing, for example. So yeah, you got to make sure you're animating to your scene. Except that I might try and with hand pose. So I think she opens up more. I've got a fairly flat rotation here. Yeah, that's better. Bring this hand out. And the wrist is going to pop out this time. Yeah. Let's bring this a little bit more. This is a really straight arm. Let's get this out straight. shoulder's too high up. Bring this down. But we need to bring this up. Seems okay. Can't quite see the hand, but I'm sure it's just similar to this. This isn't the most exciting pose. Hard to get a nice line of action in this because it's such a sort of strong. And maybe the knee could come in. I know she's got quite a close knee. That could help without the compression. Maybe bring this up to like here. It's an even. Oh, I've lost it. There it is. It might feel too aggressive when I'm doing spline. Like it's like he's like flying up into his face. But at least her foot's quite flat though, so I'm not trying to get this toe back up. But didn't she like scrape up her leg? Like she scraped in and up. So hers is quite a right angle. I'm gonna add a bit of an arc when I do mine. So for example, this pose, what I know later, I'm gonna make sure like arcs up because that's a bit more appealing. But for now, I'll leave it as it is. I probably won't do my blocking plus today. I might do a blocking plus tomorrow. But yeah, I'll see how that goes. I think that could still be. I might spend another. I'm going to try and get to the end of the timeline for this blocking class, and then I'll see how I feel. I need some dinner soon, so... Wait, that's the wrong frame. There we go. Yeah, these hips, there's a lot of geometry sort of going into each other here. So I'll try and get this to... a bit better. Normally I like to animate the cog for the rotations, but sometimes, especially for this type of thing, where there's such like big movements in the hips and the legs, I need to use the hip controller together with the cog. Just because I want to make sure that I get nice shapes while also maintaining nice arcs with the movements. If I copy this frame, what does it look like? It looks terrible. Oh, actually does it. I think maybe if I go halfway. Okay, I'm going to copy her timing for now. I'm going to continue this sort of falling motion. Oh, actually, that feels really nice when she slams into the ground. This also could be an earthbending situation. But I believe, if I remember from the TV show, I could be wrong, but he only does like multiple bending at the same time when he's in like his avatar form. That fight at the end, in season 3 finale, I think he like combines them together. But that's when he's in like his avatar state thing. And this is just meant to be a fun little sparring thing, so I'm gonna try and just stick the water. Okay, that's I'm gonna break from my 8's rule because I want to get this timing correct straight away. That's the impact frame. That's impact. I think if I go to 130, so let's do, yeah. Let's try this first. This could not work. I might need to adjust this later, but let's try this. I'm going to do the impact first, I think. So let's do the impact frame first. So it's actually not going across too much of space, which it is obviously coming down onto this leg. Let's get this on the ground. Okay, and then I can use the pavement for reference. So she takes off for over there. So she's going to land about here, isn't she? So too close. It needs to be a bit further away. Right there. So let's make this pose. I want to make this more angry as well, so I want to try and add some angry emotion. If she's going to be... Yeah, I want... So, this is a C curve in a way, right? And then this is also kind of... Well, it's kind of in the transition period, but this is also kind of C curve. So I think this position, I want to try and get the body kind of this way a little bit. Not like overly, like, not like this, but like a little bit, just to feel like the overlap of the body, as well as just the sort of offset of, well, yeah, I guess overlap of the body. Let's work on these first. You put these all to 0. So I think I don't want to be too close to the first position, but I don't want to be too narrow either. Let's go down there. What's this stuff? I think the neck can also rotate now because I want to invert this. Where does the neck go here? The head's a hard one. Yeah, I don't want it to be back and forth too much, like side to side. I need to maintain. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, that feels nice. See that change? So there's this way first, and then it's going backwards on itself. I'll adjust the arms as well. So the arm is going to drag. So if the arm is, use the grease pencil here. If that plug-in thing wasn't working very well, this plug-in wasn't working well today. Okay, so yeah, I want to animate the arm. Let's drag the arm is here. This is my line of action. Right here. So let's go to the next pose. So that's what I'm dragging from. I think if I drag this up, just also draw the other arm. And then within this pose, have the up. My eyes frozen. Actually, my stream's working, right? I think my stream's working still. My crashed on me. No. Okay, I should have it saved. 1 second. This happens all the time. Hopefully autosave is working. Lesson learned. Save more often. Let's check to see if there's a save file. We might have to go back a few minutes. Ironically, I think the most times I get crashes with Maya is when it's autosaving. Which kind of makes sense. Saving is kind of quite a hard action. Let's find that autosave. One second, it's not there. Give me a few minutes, I'm going to find it. It's the one folder. if I can't find this in a few minutes, I'm going to end the stream there because I've done quite a lot anyway. I'll go back to an earlier version tomorrow and I can continue again. Give me 2 more minutes to find it. There's so many files on my computer, I need to clean them up. Where's my file? Yeah, I'll end the stream there anyway, and I'll make sure I get back to the same stage for the next stream. But yeah, I hope that was useful, and I'm gonna try and finish this series off by the end of the week. So yeah, if anyone can be curious, that's my timeline. But yeah, hopefully that was great. Please check out my other channels, my other videos on my channel, and if anything else is like requested that you want to watch, then please let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching so much, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Thank you. Yeah, goodbye.